Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball.
If you're gonna be Tom Hanks, you're gonna have to yell way more aggressively than that.
No one, I'm gonna have to turn around, hold on, so that no one gets the brunt. Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Yeah, see, there we go. It's the drunken inflection of an angry, slightly overweight Tom Hanks.
Listen, you could tell me that Tom Hanks was actually drunk in this movie, and I would totally believe you.
If you didn't catch the vibe, if you don't know that iconic movie quote, it's from A League of Their Own. If you haven't seen A League of Their Own, you should probably go watch it. I would say it's an American institution at this point.
I don't know. I think it's a staple. I think a lot of people would disagree with me, but that's just my take. And I think one person that would agree with us is Nikola Dion, our guest today.
Hello. I must say, I feel like I'm tripping because I listened to this.
Oh my god.
And now I'm in it.
Well, we're so happy to have you.
Yes, our guest this week is one of my longest friends I think I've ever had. We all went to high school together as the connection, if anybody cares, but we're all besties, and we're so excited to have you on this week.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
When we were brainstorming movies for Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss month, it just, like, A League of Their Own was in the mix, and I knew immediately that, like, you had to be the guest.
I did watch this movie quite a lot as a kid. I don't know why I did not like baseball.
The first time I ever saw this movie was at your house. You were like appalled that I had never seen it, and you made me sit down and watch it. So I owe this movie to you.
So I remember that day because I think I bought it for $1 at Salvation Army or something on DVD, and I said we have to watch this tonight. It's gonna happen.
But yeah, don't worry, the bar's super low. If you can formulate understandable English words, then you can be a guest here on The Swamp, which is the name of our podcast. The Swamp is an acronym.
It stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
That was a wonderful,
and today,
wonderful segue.
Yeah, we're really clean, professional, and poised here. A League of Their Own. Do we want to get into a little bit of a recap? I seriously think if you haven't seen this movie, it's like an hour and a half. Like it's a quick watch.
It's 2 hours.
It feels longer.
What are you talking about? It's
really?
2 hours and 2 minutes on the dot.
Oh.
It's hard to sit through, I'm not gonna lie. Well, here's the thing. I used to watch it on ABC Family and TBS and places like that as a kid, and it would always be about 8 hours long on that, and I would sit through the whole thing for some reason. Why? Because I watched this movie as an adult, and I genuinely think it's boring.
Really? I thought this was great.
You can't.
I like it. But it's
interesting.
Boring. You don't think it's boring?
The pacing at times, if you are not having an extreme interest in staring at Geena Davis being so hot and playing baseball, then yes, I could understand how this might be a little slow for you. But for me, I thought it was fine.
So John Lovitz, the baseball recruiter, he sucks. His character.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what brought that on, but you think about the beginning of this movie, and I think about John Lovitz.
Here's my thing, is I had honestly never seen the beginning of this movie. I think the only time, or like, as far into the movie, like, that I saw was always at...
Because you were catching it on TV.
Yeah, I was always catching it on TV. And so I would always catch it at, like, that scene where Rosie and Madonna get introduced. And not an ounce before that. Maybe I saw them running to catch the train, and that was it.
That's when it gets good, honestly. When Rosie O'Donnell fucking rolls into the picture, and she throws a ball right at Geena Davis. No, right at Lori Petty's head, and Geena Davis catches it in her bare hand.
Oh my god, that was the moment that this movie hooked me. When Geena Davis raw dogs that baseball with her fucking palm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Get it?
That is...
I could not believe. The hook The hook was when whoever decided to put Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna together, genius. Yes, that's the hook. What's reeling me in? Geena Davis's 6-foot-tall fucking mitts.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
I was genuinely shocked. Because I don't think I've watched this movie really since I was maybe like 14 years old. Like maybe once or twice since, but not like notably. I'd probably like caught like the last 20 minutes. I did not remember Geena Davis being so fucking stunning in this. My jaw actually dropped last night. I was like,
She's literally she's a creature to be studied.
Right.
She's fabulous.
She's playing like
in every movie she's ever been in.
Right?
Yeah, she's phenomenal. I also think it's really great.
Thelma and Louise.
Oh yeah. She plays Stuart Little's mom. She plays the fucking adult who walked into an orphanage and chose a rat over a human kid. That was Geena Davis. She did that.
And she's a Mensa member.
Yeah, it's wild. So Geena Davis is literally a 6 foot tall Amazonian glamazon woman, but she's also a fucking genius. It's literally just known in Hollywood that this woman her IQ is of the highest percentage. Yeah, she's in Mensa, which is like questionable as an organization, but still, you can't get into Mensa if you're fucking dumb. Yeah. She's genius. I think she speaks like 4 languages and she plays like 9 instruments or something. Geena Davis.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I have to say.
She takes my breath away. And Lori Petty was fabulous as well in this movie.
I was not convinced for a second that they were biological sisters, other than that they had red hair, and I did not care for a second. I thought to myself, these two did not. They did not come from the same sperm, but maybe the same womb. You know, maybe they're half sisters.
That dynamic that they were playing up of the little sibling.
Being
that's why I didn't give a shit
of the perfection that is Gina. Imagine if you were Geena Davis's little sister.
Dude, I would be fucked up like Kit is too if I was Geena Davis's little sister. Like I'd be just as mad as her.
The way they walk up in there and they're like, "You suck so bad at baseball. We would never for a second consider taking you into the league." And then Geena Davis is like, "Well, if you take me, you have to take her." And they're like, "Fine." And then she's literally their starting pitcher, like. She's like one of the best on the fucking team. Makes no sense.
But also, Kit is a little bitter bitch about it, like the entire time towards Dottie, and I'm like, you wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for her. So you gotta chill.
I have a hard time liking either of them with the dynamic they have going on. Like, obviously, I like Geena Davis because it's Geena Davis, but like, I'm not rooting for either of them particularly. I'm more so just rooting for
Marla.
Yeah, Marla, exactly.
And she gets
I would die for Marla. I would die for Marla, and I would die for Marla's dad.
Marla is the unsung hero of this movie, and she comes in at the very beginning, almost. John Lovitz, the asshole I was discussing before, don't know his name in the movie. He rejects her from his scouting because she's not pretty enough, but she clearly destroys 5 windows in the weird concert hall they were playing baseball in.
Yeah. Why the fuck are they playing baseball inside?
It was raining. I get it. And it was for the drama of it all, and sure, to smash all those windows. But yeah, I could talk about Marla all day. I love her.
I feel like, so this is getting into a little bit, we should do
a recap.
We're doing some summary. Yeah, we should do a little recap. If you haven't seen A League of Their Own, as it hasn't really been hyped up per se, maybe just listen to this recap and then you can listen to the episode, because I maybe agree this isn't a movie you have to watch if you haven't seen it, but I still had a good time. As somebody who doesn't like sports, I still really liked this movie.
It's my favorite sports movie.
Yeah, right?
Especially baseball. Like, what baseball movie is there that's good other than this?
Us 3 are not the council to decide that, I don't think, by any stretch, but I think that's a fair statement.
Field of Dreams?
But it's about sisters.
Kit and Dottie.
My girls.
And that's Geena Davis and Lori Petty. And Geena Davis is the older sister, and she's really good at baseball, and Lori Petty's the younger sister, and she's also really good at baseball, but she's just not 6 feet tall, basically, is the situation.
And she has a little complex where she's the little sister. And even though she's like 40 years old, but it's okay.
And they live on a farm in what, Oregon?
Something like that.
I think.
Yeah, I think.
And this
I think Oregon.
it is the
I'm going home to Oregon.
crust. It's the crust of World War II. So, we're just getting into it. And we're doing that whole women can have jobs now because the men need to go fight the Nazis, which is how feminism was born. And so this man who is like supposed to be like Hershey bars, right? He's like a candy guy. He's like, I think baseball is so important in America that it needs to continue to happen, and so I will employ women. And so he starts a league of baseball for women, and it is their own league, some would say. And so this baseball recruiter man who clearly there's some beef on this pod with a baseball recruiter. What's his name? John Lovitz?
I believe so. I might be wrong. I've been saying it this whole episode, so sorry.
He comes up and he's like, Geena Davis can be on our baseball team, and she's like, only if you bring my sister too. And he's like, ugh, I guess. And then they go pick up Marla, who like is not a 10, but she's really good at
She's outstanding at baseball.
And so then they're like, excuse me, please take Marla. And he's like, ugh, I guess. And so then they all get on the train, and then they go to tryouts, and then they meet Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna, who are also there, and then they all end up on the same team. Wow, all of the A-list actors end up on the Rockford Peaches. How amazing. And then who's going to be their coach? Tom Hanks. He's a drunkard. And then they play baseball, and feminism wins the day. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Well, I mean, pretty much, do I give away the ending? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so pretty much the whole big, like, tiff throughout this entire movie is that Kit, who's Geena Davis's Dottie's younger sister.
Kit's sister.
Yeah, is her little sister, and she's like, I'm living in your shadow all the time, da-da-da-da. She's really, she's, like, full of complaints, this movie, like, really needy. But, like, you see how Geena Davis, like, takes on the whole situation, you're like, I kind of get it. Pretty much what ends up happening is, like, there's some situation where Geena Davis is like, I'm done here, like, Kit's so upset that she can't have, like, the spotlight, like, trade me to another team. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll figure something out, we'll trade someone. They end up trading Kit to another team, and she's pissed, of course. And pretty much what ends up happening is that Kit's team and the Rockford Peaches, which still have Geena Davis and Madonna and Rosie and all that, they end up going to the World Series, and it comes down to, like, the last inning or something.
My fucking question. This whole league has 4 teams. What fucking World Series? There's only 4 teams in the whole league.
Baseball's baseball.
What World Series?
You're asking the wrong girl. But
I'm sorry. That's my only statistical complaint is that it doesn't make any sense to call it a World Series when these 4 teams have been playing each other back and forth.
All right, everybody. We paused recording for a sec because I am illiterate in the ways of podcasting and didn't realize that I was recording that on my shitty PC microphone the whole entire time when I purchased a podcast microphone just for that.
For this very occasion, and for which we are eternally grateful. So hopefully now maybe the audio quality will improve slightly. I know, like, personally, I like it when podcasts explain that shit, because when there's all of a sudden, like, a weird shift in my brain, I'm like, am I going crazy, or, like, did something change? So I'm glad you decided to do a little disclaimer there, because I know as a listener, I would have had a preach.
I hope it sounds better.
But back to, I think we were just wrapping up, like, Geena Davis's husband returns from the fucking war, and he's like, babe, I'm back. And she's like, I can't tell him I'm good at baseball. We have to go home.
Yeah. She literally shows up. There's, like, I think 7 games in their World Series or something like that. And she just shows up at the 7th one. Like, did not pull her weight for 6 games before this. And then she's like, okay, well, now I want to play, so I'm going to play. Which Tom Hanks, like, lets her, of course.
Right. I watched this deleted scene for the first time the other day on YouTube. And it happens at some point. It doesn't say when in the movie it's supposed to happen, but Tom Hanks is, like, doing batting practice at night, and Geena Davis goes out and is like, what you doing? And he explains what a batting machine ball thrower, I don't know. He explains what that is to her. Then they kiss, and she's like, I can't believe you did that. And then she starts packing her bags and running. and the owner of the league, or the main guy who's in charge of it, maybe not the owner, is like, where are you going? And she's like, I just have to leave. I don't know when that was supposed to happen, but it was interesting to me.
I'm kind of glad
Me
that got
too.
deleted out, because I like their dynamic a lot
I
better
like that they
without that.
And she said to him, I thought we were supposed to be friends, or I thought you liked me, or something weird like that. And then she runs away and packs her bags.
Yeah,
I'm glad they took that out.
Really weird.
I was so glad that Tom Hanks did not canoodle with any of these women. That was like
He did.
my favorite thing about this movie, was that Tom Hanks didn't fucking like that. Like, none of them got together. There was no like romance subplot.
How about that lady on the bus, though?
When he lays one on her.
Hey, I loved your work in The Wizard of Oz. He surprise kisses this woman, the chaperone lady, who wakes him up from a nap on the bus, a drunken nap. And then he just starts Frenching her right there, and she's all startled by it. He essays her.
As anyone would.
And
you'd ever woken up from a drunken nap and just made out with the first person in front of you?
And then call her ugly right after?
Yeah, right. But pretty much the movie ends, just to finish up this recap, with the bottom of the ninth, like 2 outs, Kit's the last one at bat, and Geena Davis goes up to her pitcher and she's like, throw 'em high. She can't hit the high ones. This is after Kit had a full breakdown in the dugout.
Sobbing.
She's like sobbing. Like ugly crying. Actually ugly crying. And pretty much what ends up happening is, yeah.
Literally
so
throwing
Kit,
a tantrum.
Yeah, right. Kit's like, she's got 2 strikes, and then she ends up going and she actually hits the high ball, gets a home run pretty much. She runs it out though. Geena Davis has got the ball in her hand, and she body checks her sister off the plate, and Geena Davis drops the ball, and they win the World Series.
I'd like to think that she purposely dropped the ball, just because I think it's cute.
Yeah.
And then they have a nice moment.
I would like to think so.
I'm like, Geena Davis would not drop that ball like, if it wasn't up to her, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, because she went and she told her pitcher, she's like, this bitch right here, my little sister, can't hit the high balls, so be fucking ruthless. So I don't know. I don't think she has
for that too.
Yeah, like, right. It's hard to.
I remember watching that as a kid and being like, "Oh my god."
There is no sisterly love in the game of baseball.
No,
there is none.
No crying in baseball, and no sisters love.
We are all adversaries on the diamond. But then, okay, but then they like have this moment where Geena Davis is like, I'm gonna go home and have babies, and then Kit is like, sounds great, I'm gonna play professional baseball, and then they're like, okay.
No, she says, you'd miss this too much.
But then Geena Davis is like, I gotta crank out some babies, like ASAP, because you never know when another war's gonna come back around. So.
You know.
Right.
But it's okay, because Bob, he hurt his toe.
Yeah, he like got some.
And has a
oh my god, no.
Now?
He got. What was it? He got. This was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Is Bob comes back. And she's like, what happened? Like, you're hurt. And he's like, he's got like a leg cast on or something. And of course he was like, sniper got me. Or some shit like that.
Yes, that is what he said. That is.
No, he's like, a sniper got 7 of us.
Of course it's a sniper.
It just clipped my toe.
Yeah, right. He breezes right over the fact that like 7 of his closest friends probably got murdered right in front of him.
I know. It's too much. Can we talk about how?
And he's like, but I'm glad to see you, baby.
Can we talk about how stunning Geena Davis looked in that scene? Yeah. Just sobbing because she thinks he's dead, right. and she's like in her little lingerie from the 40s,
her little nightgown,
and she's like, oh, Bob. I don't know.
No, and she was like, don't look at me. I'm like ugly right now. And he's like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, correct. Me too, Bob. I'm feeling the same way.
No, it's too much. It's so funny that she's like, oh, I look horrible. And she just looks like that.
This movie is based off of like true events, right? Because there actually was the All-American Yeah, it was like the
Nice.
All-American Girls Baseball League or something like that. Like, it was a real thing. There were actual
Something like
women
that.
who came in and played baseball when World War II was happening, whatever. If this was fucking...
But it's historical fiction.
Yeah, obviously...
Wouldn't you say?
Rosie
I
O'Donnell...
don't think Dottie
Rosie
and-
O'Donnell wasn't there.
Yeah.
Dottie was a real person.
Oh.
She was actually like the best player in the
Really?
league. Yeah, she was a real person. So the director of this movie, a woman by women, we love to
Love
see
it.
it.
Penny Marshall.
Yeah, Penny Marshall, and she saw a documentary about this baseball league and about this person, Dottie, and she was like, I'm gonna make a movie, and everyone was like, sounds great, we'll get Tom Hanks on the phone. And so, but this was a real thing. I think that if this was true,
Hadn't they worked together?
Big, she directed Big, yeah.
Mhm.
Which is,
I randomly know
yeah.
that.
If Geena Davis was fucking alive in the 1940s, looking the way she did, playing professional baseball, they would have painted her fucking face on every aircraft, that face, Geena Davis's fucking gorgeous face would have taken the world by storm, simply. I am to believe.
As it should have. I think it would have been on a dollar
Yeah,
bill.
they-
probably.
Do you think they were playing baseball in full mug like that?
Yeah, right. They had them fully like in lipstick, like the hair curlers out, because their whole thing was that like they still wanted women to be like fuckable. So they were like, you
Women.
have to go to charm
Yeah.
school and you have to act like a lady, and also when you're playing baseball, you have to be like wearing a skirt and have like you need to look nice. Which I guess that those costumes that they had them wear were pretty historically accurate and were made of wool, and they filmed this in the dead of summer. And so these women, all of them did their own baseball stunts. So they all, in order to get cast on this movie, they had actual softball, like baseball. What's auditions for sports? Tryouts. They had tryouts, and they were basically like, if you can't like at least play baseball to a reasonably like believable level, you can't be in this movie. Except obviously not like
It showed.
Geena Davis doing the splits was not real, and her like catching the ball with her hand like that they used body doubles for, but all the like shots of them like playing games and stuff, like they fully had day-long shoots where they were just like, we're gonna play through like 50 games and just film all of them.
That's
And
so
all of
fucking
their
sick.
injuries, are real too. So whenever they're like bruised up or like dirt and like scraped up, that was real too.
That one girl.
With the huge bruise
that
on her
one
leg,
girl.
that was real.
Yeah.
That poor girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about the
I just-
charm school that they went to?
Yeah. So they had them all go to
And
charm
the
school.
Madonna.
Oh my god, it's so sexy.
Madonna eye fucking the guy from the league, whatever. But Madonna's just eye fucking him. And it's so funny.
Every man who's not Tom Hanks
He's
is
letting-
just the same to me in this movie, to be honest.
Fair enough. I had never seen the dance hall scene with
So
Madonna
good.
in it.
I was gonna bring that up too.
My jaw genuinely dropped. I had to leave the room.
When I watched it last week for this to rewatch it for this, I remembered it being like 10 minutes long for some reason, and it's probably like 1 minute.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was.
I feel like it was
No.
shorter than I remember.
No, it was like
Yeah.
5 minutes at
Of
the very
Madonna
least.
swing dancing.
Madonna was
Oh my God,
stunning.
every second.
I wanted more. Am I greedy?
Here's the thing. Is my favorite part of it was like Rosie dancing with her, because it was great. It was outstanding.
Rosie flipping that dude over her back.
Right? Oh my god. Like, but like the one like little tidbit that I really love detail wise is like Rosie's telling the story of how like her and Madonna met, like and she's like, oh yeah, she was a dancer at my dad's club and I was the bouncer.
I know. I love them. I want a movie about. They should have just been the main
Right.
characters, and Geena Davis could have just been fucking gorgeous somewhere.
Yeah.
And Rosie O'Donnell, I just want like a prequel where we just learn about those two characters. Is that too much to ask?
They so could have had
I just
one.
want a remake where they're
I'm
all
like-
lesbians, because that's just my
Right.
truth. That's my truth that I'm living in this movie. Is that they're
Like,
all gay.
The fact that they made Rosie like straight and they were like, oh yeah, she's got a boyfriend or something like that. I was like, come on.
She was always.
You
straight
cast a
back then, I
lesbian
feel.
on purpose on this.
She was not openly a lesbian at the time. I don't think. I'm pretty sure.
Everyone could read the room.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, she...
Also, I just think a lot of,
We love
like,
her.
backhanded
we?
comments throughout the movie, like, literally, I think 5 or 6 times, different women are like, my husband will literally stab, murder, and shoot me if he ever found out that I was acting unladylike. Like, there are so many times where people are like, my husband would murder me, and I'm not joking. Literally murder. Like, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like all the, like, subtle, like, I'm not gonna say abuse jokes, but just like passive comments. I'm like, let's scrap all of these, and then you just make them all fuck each other.
Yeah, right? Like, oh my god, what's her name? There was one woman, oh god, I can't think of her fucking name.
The blonde?
Hold on. Helen? No,
Who
Helen.
can't read? Helen who
She's
can't
like,
read?
No, not her. Oh my god, that scene. She's the one that helps the girl that can't read. That scene, first of all, crushes me.
There's a lot of sad moments in this movie.
Right? But, like, Helen, the one that helps her, she's such an earthy, crunchy lesbian. 110%.
No, but so...
She walked on that
like
screen and I was like...
The lady who can't read also kind of gives me a little bit of that. Shirley, I believe her name was.
They all...
Shirley Baker?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, right. No, they all do. Like, you can't tell me.
Like,
Rosie and Madonna, that's the perfect couple right there.
They fucked. Yeah, they're right? Like, they definitely dated at one point. Maybe not now, but they dated.
I like to think there was some
canoodling.
There was an amicable split.
But so, do you two know about the TV series that's gonna come out soon?
Abby Jacobson, right?
Yeah, Abby Jacobson from Broad
What?
City. Abby from Broad City is the like creator, writer, and she stars in a League of Their Own TV series that's going to be out on Amazon Prime sometime either later this year or early 2022, I believe. I think it's one of those things that maybe got bumped because of COVID. But I guess it's supposed to be like way more like racially inclusive and like telling a more like diverse story, which is great.
I was gonna say, so this is gonna be gay.
I don't know if it's gonna be gay, but I just know it's like a pretty racially diverse cast, which is awesome because there's this one scene in this movie where like a black lady like catches throws a ball, and they're like, oh my god, she's so good, but like that's the end of it, and I'm like, I know it's not like historically accurate, but like what pissed me off. I'm like, ask her to join.
I should have done research. I'm like, did they want to? Were they excluded from the league? I should have done research.
No, yeah. It's the 1940s. They obviously, I mean, segregation was still in full swing. There's no way they would have had like an integrated baseball league at that time. And so they're like, it's just, it's just like, it's weird to me that they like added that little nod in the movie about it, but then like I just wanted it to go more, and then they just, they just like, they're like, oh, we're gonna have a little illusion of a not white person participating. Oh, never mind, moving on. And it's just like, ugh, like, come on. What did this movie come out in 1992? I'm like, come on, take a risk. I don't know, be a little progressive.
Can we talk about Tom Hanks for a second here?
Yes.
Here's my thing, is that they made him look drunk this entire movie. Like, you could have told me that they told him, like, day of or like maybe night before, like you know when like you wake up super like bloated and just thick looking after you like drink a lot. He looked exactly like that. You know what I mean? Like they told him, they were like, Tom, we need you to go slam a 12-pack the night before and then show up to like he's got like a 5 o'clock call time or some shit like that. You know what I mean? They made him look haggard.
So I actually have a fun fact related to this, is that Tom Hanks gained 65 pounds for this role, and he said
65.
And so he was like, I think I'm.
Was this right after like Castaway or something like that?
No, it was before. It was like
1992. So
it was after.
Like, how the fuck?
Sorry.
65 pounds.
So basically,
this is before Forrest Gump.
Yeah, because that was 1994, I believe,
That's
or 96.
Weird to me.
But so he basically was reading the true. This was a true story, and this guy who was the coach was a real guy, and he was a little bit older. And Tom Hanks was like, I'm kind of like the same age as like these girls. He's like, so is that like gonna work, and they were like, don't really worry about
I saw
it.
A picture.
And they were like, don't worry about it, because like you're Tom Hanks, so obviously you can do no wrong, but like, you know, you're gonna be a drunkard kind of. And so he was like, okay, I'll get fat then. And they're like, sounds great. And so he said he owed it all to Dairy Queen. And this was very much in my favorite movie fact is how Ryan Gosling used to drink Haagen-Dazs because he was going to be the dad in The Lovely Bones. And he was like, I can't be a dad, I'm way too hot. And so he would just microwave Haagen-Dazs pints and just chug them to try to gain weight. And then he was like, it couldn't be me. And he dropped the role, and then they gave it to Mark Wahlberg. I love that. But so this is like very reminiscent of that.
Oh, wait, was it that he dropped the role, or that he literally showed up and they were like, you are too fat? I think
that...
I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
I thought he was like, I can't do this. I think he was like, I can't maintain this.
I don't think so.
That makes that fact even worse. But yeah, Tom Hanks, very a la Ryan Gosling, he's like, yeah, I just ate at Dairy Queen for all 3 meals of every day, and he's like, and he gained like 60 pounds for this role, so that's why he does look a little like bloated and withered.
He looked kind of hot to me in this movie. For once.
It's because he was just spitting. He was just constantly spitting.
Yeah, right.
Just like brown gruel.
Think I'm in the spit?
I will say that I don't think anyone's had much of a better entrance than him, because it's literally just him pissing for like 3 minutes straight or something like that. Like, imagine him reading the script.
Okay, wait.
Imagine just reading the script and being like, oh, they want me to like piss like forever.
I have another fun fact. So the director was over in the stall next to them with a garden hose, like making the pee sounds. And, like, they did that, like, practical, like, live. And basically she was like, I'm gonna make this go for, like, way longer than anybody is expecting. So it was a full 53 seconds of piss. And I guess, like, Tom Hanks was kind of like, oh, is this still, and everyone was like, is he still peeing? And they just thought it was so funny that they kept it. But so, yeah, like the 53-second long pee scene, that was a practical effect done by the director. So we love to see it.
I love that.
Sometimes I go a full 9-hour day without pissing at work. I just forget. And then I'll come home and I'll do that exact thing. I think I could confidently play Jimmy Dugan in the reboot. Abby Jacobson, hit me up.
I love one of the girls.
Yeah, Abby Jacobson, if you want to be on the pod.
Abby Jacobson, I will watch.
We know you're listening.
Right, I will watch your full A League of Their Own series, and we'll cover it episode. I will change this to be a League of Their Own podcast if Abby Jacobson.
I would like to play the titular role of Aliga Dayon. Please.
And so this is one of the reasons, though, why I asked you to be our guest this week, because you've come up with the iconic name Nikola Dion, which is, yes, but you also have come up with the alias Aliga Dayon.
I have to give credit where credit is due. My roommate's mom, actually. Aliga Dayon is
great name.
The drag name that my roommate came up with.
Great drag name.
And her mom inspired it.
Informally, you're Nikola Dion, and our friend Carrie, your roommate, is Aliga Dayon, yes?
Yes.
I love that for you. Is. I love that the first thing that somebody says to Tom Hanks after he finishes pissing is, boy, that was some good peeing.
Yeah.
Dead.
That was
I think that was Doris.
Wasn't it Rosie? Yeah. Or maybe it was Madonna.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it was Rosie.
That was some good peeing. Another thing I love that Rosie says is, what kind of a thing is that to say? When they're like saying that they're gonna close the league, she says, what kind of a thing is that to say? And I just like it. Similarly
to like last week, we talked about how fucking Ben Affleck was just like doing his thing, like they never gave him a script for Gone Girl. I think they never gave Rosie a script for this, and this was literally just her riffing and making it up on the spot.
Good.
That's partially true, Emily. You aren't wrong there. I guess her role was about half the size it actually was in the movie, and the director has a really strong Long Island accent. And Rosie O'Donnell was one of the only people on set who, like, fully understood what she was saying at all times, because she, like, also has that accent. And so because they just had such a good rapport back and forth, they just added a bunch more scenes for her. And they were just like, yeah, just like fuck around. Just like say some funny shit in your funny voice and we'll put it in the movie. And so she just about doubled her own role by just like having an in with the director.
I used to walk around repeating that. What kind of a thing is that to say?
It's like one of those things that, like, no one's in your house and you just say it out loud to yourself kind of thing.
Or if somebody comes out of pocket to me, I'm like, what kind of a thing is that to say? And they don't understand the reference, but to me, it's funny.
I love the other thing about Rosie's character that I have a note about is imagine being Kit, tiny little Kit, insufferable little Kit, and thinking that you could go and take on Doris in a fight.
Yeah, when they fist
like,
fight.
You are delusional.
There is a...
Can I add on to that and say, imagine being in your 30s and acting the way that Kit acts.
I think she was supposed to be like 18, right? She was supposed to be very young in the movie, I perceive.
She's supposed to be 18.
I perceived it because
something.
I think Geena Davis was just about marriage age, which in the 40s was like 21. So I think Geena Davis was supposed to be early 20s, and therefore Kit, her younger sister, was like somewhere between 18 and 20. Is my rough guess.
Yeah. And I feel like in their real lives, though, they were probably in their 30s, based on
for sure
what they look like.
Based on facts and numbers and science, yes, that would be correct.
Based on their IMDb page, they were definitely at least 30 years old. I can't believe that they got Madonna for this. I'll say that. Like, who decided? They were like, you know what? You know who's perfect for this? Madonna. She must have played, like, softball or some shit like that. She must have...
So there was somebody, I can't remember the name of the actress, but she was originally in Geena Davis's part, because originally they wanted Demi Moore, and then Demi Moore wasn't good at baseball, so they're like, scrap it. So no more Demi Moore. And then they got somebody else, somebody not really that famous.
Was it Marissa Tomei or something?
No, because... she would not have had beef with Madonna in this way, because she's great. But it wasn't her. Because I remember looking up this bitch's IMDb, and I'm like, oh, I don't recognize anything she's in. But so she was originally cast, and then once they signed on Madonna, she was like, absolutely not. She's like, I will not be working with Madonna. And they were like, well, you are way less famous than her, so you're out of here. And so they dropped her. They kept Madonna, they dropped her, and then they got Geena Davis, which is great.
I love that.
That's the only Geena Davis is the reason this movie is so good to me, personally. I mean, I have said that it's boring on many occasions now in the past hour that we've been talking about it, but I still like it. And I love that big montage of them all playing in the middle.
Right. Oh my god. That's I think the best part of this is that, like, is it a sports movie? Yes, but it doesn't feel like a sports movie because every time they're actually playing sports, they've got this banger of a montage where everyone's just everyone looks fantastic. It's really fast, like, paced, clean cut, and they've got, like, this big band swing music behind it, so you just get, like, really pumped about it.
Emily, do you know who does the score of this movie?
Enlighten me.
Hans Zimmer, who... For those of you who are not familiar, Hans Zimmer does notably Inception. I think he does almost all of Christopher Nolan's movies. He's basically like one of the top composers
in
all of Hollywood.
For, like, this,
And so Hans Zimmer fully did the music for this movie, and it made total sense to me because in that exact montage you're describing, I googled who the fuck wrote the music in A League of Their Own because I have to know this moment.
Good.
And it's Hans Zimmer, and it just checks out. It just fully checks out. Because it completes.
You guys can't see me right now. Oh my god, everyone listening can't see me right now, but my jaw fully dropped just then. Holy shit. That makes so much sense.
I just wanted, like, you know in Inception, when the music goes brrrr, you know when that happens in Inception? I wanted that to happen here, just... every time Madonna was on screen, just brrr, and just her being hot.
That's how I felt when I saw her.
Right?
But no, they should have done it. They should have done it when Kit literally body checks Dottie over.
And then it, like, goes into slow motion, and they go into the next level of Inception, and it's been Inception this whole time.
I just had a weird thought.
This is not the movie you thought it was.
Can you just, I know there's like a weird feud between Lady Gaga and Madonna, but can you just imagine a modern day League of Their Own where Lady Gaga plays
Madonna's
that role?
character?
She would be
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
I'd cry. I think I'd cry.
Do we think she's good at sports? Maybe
They might
not.
have to have some body doubles for that one, but I certainly wouldn't be mad about it. I know Lady
She's good
Gaga
at
has
everything
like
else, so I wouldn't be surprised.
she has like muscle dystrophy, right, from dancing too much or something.
Something like that. Yeah, no, she's got a lot of body issues.
She has the same thing as Ginny Lemon.
Oh.
What is it called?
Fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia. I love that clip of Wendy Williams saying, "If you're struggling with social anxiety, I kind of feel sorry for you."
I feel bad for you. Okay. Quick question, because I said this to one of my roommates last night, and he thought I was insane. But does anyone think that Kit looks kind of like Ellen? Like, she's got Ellen eyes.
Yes.
Right?
So,
Have you seen her in Orange is the New Black?
Yeah,
she
I was
looks
gonna
like
say,
Ellen.
I don't know if you're familiar with Lori Petty as an actress, but in Orange is the New Black, she plays, I believe the character's name is Lottie, and she plays kind of a mentally unhinged patient. She has shaved white hair, and she wears big kind of Mr. Magoo glasses, and she comes in around.
That's her?
She comes in around
Yeah,
season
that's
2 or 3.
her.
That's her.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. Holy
She's
shit.
a great character actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really is. Jesus Christ. I did not realize that was her.
But she got the role in this movie because she was so good at baseball. She wasn't really like super A-list actor or anything. She didn't really, but when they were doing these like baseball tryouts for actresses during this movie, she was so good. And she said it was because she played in a boys league growing up. She's like, yeah, they didn't have like a softball league or like anything for girls. She's like, so they just like, I was good, so they let me play on the boys team. So she had such good baseball skills that they like were so impressed by it that they cast her, and that's why she like got to be this kind of lead role in this movie, which is awesome because she's so great.
Probably the best baseball player in the cast, and was playing the one who was supposedly bad.
Supposedly the worst, but like I still don't get that. So you mentioned,
Yeah, right?
I want to get into this a little bit because you mentioned, because I messaged you, right? And I was like, you've got to be a guest on this episode because it's Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss month, and we're going to do a League of Their Own.
I don't know what that means. Did we go over what that means yet?
No. So,
Can we?
the origins...
Like, please explain this to me. I'm dying to know.
Okay, so if you need a little bit of meme history, it's currently like a Twitter. I'm gonna say primarily on Twitter, but it originated on Tumblr, as a lot of memes often do. And somebody on Tumblr said,
You did your research.
Today's agenda: Gaslight, Gatekeep, and most importantly, Girlboss was the original post. And that kind of blew up and people were reposting it all over Twitter. And then it just kind of got shortened down to Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss. And I would say it is of the forefront of meme culture, at least for the past, like about a month ago. We're a little late to the game.
Yeah, no, I'd say, yeah, like between a month and like
3 months.
A month or two.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it a while ago, and I just said, "Oh, I know what gaslight means."
You made a great point though. You're like, is it those Ray Dunn Marshall's mugs that say like, "Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee"? And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
it's
just
choosy.
what I think when I hear Girlboss. I think about Mark.
And you're right for that.
As you should.
You're simply right for that. But I want to defend our choice for this movies because as we were like going through our options, Emily, your roommate like shouted from across your apartment like, "A League of Their Own!" And we were like, "Oh, yes, that works. That is like something to be highly considered." And I would say that the strongest element here is Girlboss. These girls are playing sports, which is very boss of them.
And they're killing it.
But a man is still bossing them around. Actually, I take that back because Jimmy Dugan is
he's garbage
simp in the beginning. And Geena Davis is actually the coach. We stand.
This is
pretty much.
This is true.
She is
I
a
don't
girl
understand.
boss.
I don't understand why those girls don't just bludgeon him to death with their baseball bats. Like,
Yeah,
he's
right.
shit garbage. I'm like, you could literally, I think Geena Davis could snap his neck like a fucking twig. I'm like, why don't you? Why don't you, girl?
Yeah.
But so that's
so
the most
stunning.
prominent element we have, and then we move into our secondary element, which I believe to be gatekeep, because that's the sport of baseball, has been gatekept by men. And they're finally letting the women have their shot.
Right.
So it's like, and it's sort of like they're trying to change the rules and change like the whole thing about it. Like, oh, they have to wear dresses, they have to be pretty because it's women. So that's the whole gatekeeping thing to me. It's like they can't just be playing baseball. It still has to be like lady baseball.
In meme culture, what is gatekeep supposed to mean?
It just
Are
sounds
the girl
gatekeep.
bosses gatekeeping?
It just it just sounds good in between the words gaslight and girl boss. It's just three words that start with G that are 2-part words.
But what are they gatekeeping?
Just culture.
In meme culture, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Whatever they want.
And so I think gatekeep is just a word that's being used a lot in like social discussions now, which it wasn't a while ago. So I just think like the words gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss all are like kind of bubbling to the surface at the same time on the internet, and they just happen to like sound kind of like each other to me. I don't know.
Well, I do agree that Gatekeep is a prominent figure in this movie. I think Gaslight is really like the step above it, especially in terms of Kit.
I couldn't agree more.
Because they're literally like the entire time everyone's telling Kit, they're like, yeah, you're dog shit, dude. Look at your sister. She's hot shit. You're dog shit.
They're gaslighting
and
her.
they're like, they keep gaslighting her the entire movie. She's the best pitcher in the league. She can't catch a break. No one gives a fuck about Kit. It's all about Dottie. Mind you, the pitcher is the one that really makes the game, not the catcher.
I know.
But
that was the weirdest part to me. I feel like in baseball, I had 3 brothers growing up, and 2 of them were really into baseball, and they always loved to like pitch, just like practice their stance, I guess. Constantly.
Yeah.
And they would always be like just like throwing nothing because pitching is so cool.
Because you get to stand on the mound.
Emily, you played softball.
You're the head honcho.
Right? Am I making
I
that
did
up?
play softball.
So
Is that stereotypical of me?
No, I just remember we were friends, so I remember that.
Yeah, no, we played
friends.
softball. No, I played softball like when I was young, and then like I got to high school and I played softball in my freshman year, and I was shit. And then I broke my finger into like 3 different pieces, and I was like, this is my out. I'm done.
I kind of remember you breaking your finger.
But you of the 3 of us are closest to this movie in subject matter, so you're the closest reference we have. Maybe when Jen comes back, my mom fully played softball all the way through college, so maybe Jen has a speaking of,
there she is.
Oh my god, so good.
Perfect timing, Jen.
Yay.
We were just talking about you actually.
No, there is no such thing as a professional softball league. Like, there wasn't then. I don't think there is now. But I made it to the Junior Olympics.
Which is
Wow.
so
Oh my
fierce.
god.
You're basically a modern day
Jesus,
Geena
Jen.
Davis.
You're
I have to say.
really?
You're basically an Olympian. Oh my, I'm honored to
I
be
didn't know I was
coaching
talking
you.
to a celebrity.
Oh my god. But we did really good in like New England, and then we got our asses kicked out in Westerville, Ohio or something. Yeah.
Because those people don't have anything better to do than like just get really good at hitting things, you know?
I was gonna say.
Ohio?
Yeah, apologies.
Is home.
Yeah. If you're from Ohio and listening, I'm sorry.
The scoreboard like only went up to 19, and then it flipped over to 0.
Oh my god.
'Cause,
They lapped you? They fully
scored, like,
lapped you?
20 They scored 20. It was like 26-0. But for a hot second, it looked like it was back to 0-0.
Christ. That's a hard day.
But I will say that softball girls are just a fun group, and like so like I can see like that movie how it had like the camaraderie and like the different personalities and stuff like that. You know?
related? You related to
stuff.
this film? This hit home for
I
you?
saw that movie. I saw that movie with my college friend Jamie, who did not play softball. He to the movies.
Did you fall asleep? Because this movie's kind of boring.
It is slow. I've seen it a number of times since. It's really good, right?
I like it.
I really enjoyed it.
I never thought it was boring as a kid because I only ever watched it on TV, and I think the commercial breaks really helped it, even though it made it about 8 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to watch it now, and I'm like, this is kind of boring. I have seen it like probably 30
right.
times.
Okay, so we are back at it again with another Chocolate or Vanilla with resident host Jen. Chocolate or Vanilla is a game. Jen is my mother, if you didn't know. If you're not a regular listener, Jen comes in for this nice little segment that she hosts. And Chocolate or Vanilla, it's just two options are presented, and you simply say which one you prefer. And so, Jen, does this week have a theme?
It does. It does. In honor of the three of you, it is things that I love.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm blushing.
That is so cute. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. That's really nice.
If I don't know what something is, I'm sorry. But I listened to this podcast, and I a lot of your options, I don't know what they are. I'll admit.
Oh, can't get my references. That's okay. You can just like wing a guess.
Yeah,
anyway,
if it just simply just about verbiage alone, choose one. But you must choose one. All right, let's freaking go.
All right. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
And chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Okay. Okay, ready? A fun martini or a fun coffee drink?
Fun coffee drink, because here's the thing, is martinis are testy for me. It just can go too bad too fast. And a fun coffee drink, I don't know if you're referring to alcohol specifically, but I'm just thinking like coffee just as an alcoholic coffee drink.
Yes.
I don't drink much, but I love the drama of just holding a martini glass. So I'm gonna go with that.
Love that. I'd have to say coffee drink, because I've taken a firm stance on this podcast that I'm not a martini person. I wish I was, but I'm not. Give me like another 2 years if we're still doing this, hopefully.
Right, it's like your taste buds change every 7 years.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll come around to martinis.
Yeah.
By the time the 47th James Bond movie comes out,
Yeah.
but like until
I
then,
want to stand in a
it's just not
lounge
it for
holding
us.
a martini glass. I want a half orchestra, and I want to have my moment. Is that too much to ask?
It's not.
He
It's
is
not.
the main character in that moment.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Hiking or skiing? And by hiking, I just mean like walking outside on a flat trail, not like crazy hiking or anything. But so hiking or skiing?
I will say, so am I allowed to take the alternative of snowboarding? Because I personally, I don't ski, but I do know how to snowboard. And I prefer to go downhill than uphill. And I find it takes much less bodily tension and effort to go down than it does to go up.
I like to walk
Fair
on a
enough.
flat path because my legs hurt.
I'm gonna second Kev on that one, because I don't know how to ski, I don't know how to snowboard, but I enjoy nature, and if it's specifically a flat path, like Jen said,
I love this.
then I'm so with that.
That rush of serotonin from brushing against a fern. That's all I need.
Yeah, right?
I will say, I'll say skiing. Next one is thick cut onion rings or truffle fries?
Onion rings.
Here's where you got me, is you specified thick cut, Jen, and I just don't know why you had to do me dirty like that. But I prefer skinny fries, and I prefer skinny French fries. You know, I just don't want it to have too much meaty.
You want a crunch
to it. So like an onion ring, when you bite it and then you can slurp the whole onion out of it like a straw. Not for me. Like I get that it might be for you, but it's simply not for me.
I like all onion rings.
It's got to be truffle fries, even though a truffle fry that is too aggressive can sometimes tip on the side of not desirable. but I would rather have an undesirable truffle fry than an undesirable onion ring. Is my stance.
So here with you on that. Like, I feel like I've just had enough encounters with onion rings where they're not as good as they can be. You know what I mean? They're always just like a little under par. So and every time I have truffle fries, it's an outstanding experience. I recently bought truffle oil for the first time in my life. Felt like a real adult. Oh my god, changed my life.
Was it really expensive?
Yeah, it was like $20.
Oh my god.
We all like me and my roommates all like chipped in for it. We're like, okay, they're like, are we gonna pull the trigger? Are we gonna get truffle oil? I guess so. So yeah, no, truffle fries for sure.
Nice. I'm gonna go onion rings also. Next one
Yes,
is
Jen.
next one is any reality show on MTV or Hallmark Christmas movies.
Reality show.
Yeah, absolutely reality TV for me because reality TV is insufferable, but I will admit it's my guilty pleasure, and I do consume it. I enjoy it.
You have nothing to be
I love
guilty
it.
about, girl.
Right. Well, I just can admit that it's bad. Like I know that it's bad.
It's
but
good,
like
though.
I still love it.
I love it.
I'm gonna have to take a similar stance and say reality TV. Specifically, I loved in its heyday Are You the One on MTV. That was probably my favorite one. I know you guys are big like the challenge people, but Are You the One was my shit for a while.
Next one is ding ding ding. Here's my triple.
Woo.
Ready? The Moana soundtrack, the Brother Bear soundtrack, or the Tarzan soundtrack.
Oh.
So, don't you dare fucking do this to me,
Tarzan.
Jen. But I'm gonna have to stand my ground and I'm gonna have to say Tarzan. I will say though, Brother Bear, I will rank, if you're gonna rank all Disney soundtracks, like I'm putting it so far up there, but it is behind.
It has to be.
Tarzan.
Is Brother Bear
Like,
not also Phil
it
Collins?
is.
Or
It is
am I
also.
making
It
that
is,
up?
yeah. If you watch this movie, A League of Their Own, and you close your eyes and you just imagine that Rosie O'Donnell is her character in
I
Tarzan,
forgot she was in
it just
that.
made like her voice to me literally belongs to the character Turk from Tarzan. So like every time she's on my screen, I just close my eyes and I just picture a little baby monkey, and it just checks out.
So everyone said Tarzan. Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, same. I love them all though. Next one is getting a plain bagel with fun cream cheese or getting a fun bagel with plain cream cheese.
Fun bagel, plain cream cheese, I guess.
I agree because in this situation, I just immediately equate this to like everything bagel, plain cream cheese, or a plain bagel with like chive cream cheese or like veggie or like something like that. And I just will inherently always order an everything bagel if that is my decision. Like if that's an option to me, I will always pick everything.
When you said fun bagel, I immediately think of the bagel place around me. If anyone is in like the greater Hartford area, they need a good bagel place, go to Isaac's Bagel because Jesus Christ, it's the best bagels I've ever had in my life. So like I think about my go-to bagel there comparatively to the cream cheese, which is always like chive or something like that. But the go-to bagel that I always get is a garlic Asiago bagel. And it is fucking outstanding. So I am going to say fun bagel, plain cream cheese, because the bagel is what carries the bagel itself, so.
That would also make a really good pizza bagel, right?
Yeah.
If you put any bagel in front of me, I'm probably going to
Yeah, right. What about you, Jen?
I will say I like a plain bagel with some fun cream cheese if I have the choice. But
yeah, you're a veggie cream cheese kind of gal to me.
Like veggie cream cheese.
That is some good shit.
All right, next is trivia or a fun music mix.
I love trivia.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. There's just something about trivia that's so fun and so interactive, especially like with friends and everything like that. Like, trivia feels like a fun thing you can get into at any age. Like, me and my friends are looking for, like, a good trivia place to start going to do trivia. And then, like, I'll be home and my dad will be, like, doing, like, Zoom trivia with his friends and stuff like that. So I think trivia is for everyone. I'm going to have to say trivia.
Trivia might be for everyone, but to me, someone who is dumb, not stupid. I prefer the music option. Because
This one was really hard for me to pick because I do love both, but I am going to say trivia. Next one is Darren Criss or Taron Egerton. Edgerton.
I love these two men. I love these two men. But
they can do no wrong.
Jen, I think so. Actually, for anybody who wants a little bit of insight, my mom's contact photo in my phone is of Darren Criss. It's just a photo of Darren Criss. And every time she calls me,
who is Darren Criss?
He plays Blaine on Glee. Remember Kurt's boyfriend on Glee?
Oh yeah.
He's also American
so
Crime
talented.
Story. He plays the guy who murders Versace on American Crime Story. If you've seen that,
I need to watch that.
It's really good.
It was really
he's
good.
a good egg, but I have to say Taron Egerton in this situation, and I think I'm not going to say this is as hard for me as it is for you, Jen, because I imagine this is life or death for you, but I think Taron Egerton just brings a little more zest into my personal life, and I think he's very hot.
I'm gonna choose the second one.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with Taron, just because I fucking love his performance as Elton John. I thought he was outstanding. And he did all of his own singing. He sounded great.
I will go with Darren Criss because I love him. Next one is a real hug or a hand hug.
Oh my god.
No, like,
okay.
hand hug.
I'm going to say I love a hand hug because I don't really like to touch people, especially like people I'm not like I like to hug you, Mom, because you're my mom, but like I don't know, everyone present in this chat I would fully hug, but just, when somebody you're not that close with goes in for a hug and you feel a little bit weird about it. I never feel that way about a handshake, let alone a hand hug. Hand hug is when you like press your palms together and then you wrap your thumb around to the other side. So
My
it's, like,
friend
a nice
Emily
little
taught me how to
moment.
do it.
And it's just like not that invasive, and I just like feel weird getting that close into other people's space, to be honest. I would say there's like a very short list of people I like fully would hug with enthusiasm, but handshakes, hand hugs, that's totally cool. So I have to pick that one because I'm not about like invading personal space.
That's fair.
personally.
I like a good hug. I feel like once you're actually like able to hug someone comfortably, sort of like Darren, once you've started to know someone enough, and then you're like, oh, like I can give you a hug, like that's always nice. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say hug. I like a good hug. You know what I mean? It's nice.
An old woman where I work who was shopping there dropped her cane, and I said, "Ma'am, can I pick your cane up for you?" And she said, "Yes." And then I gave her cane, and she hugged me without asking, and there's a global pandemic. But I hugged her back. I'm gonna say hugging.
I really love that for you.
She was really happy I asked if I could. She said, "No one ever asks." And I said, It's
just common courtesy. Yeah, it's just common courtesy. You don't touch people or their things without asking, simply.
Exactly.
Maybe she should have asked you before she hugged you, though.
She was senile. If you're listening, ma'am, hello.
Chances of her listening?
What about you, Jen?
0. I like a hand hug. I think it's really fun. Makes me happy. Next one is Child's Pose or Warrior 1.
Oh my god. Okay, I have to shout out another staple in our household. Jen and I love Yoga with Adriene. And what did you say, Child's Pose or Warrior 1? Child's Pose is you literally get to like lay on your stomach.
You flop on the floor.
Whereas Child's Pose is like you get to like lay in a curled up ball on the ground. Whereas Warrior 1 actually involves some sort of like muscle strength in your body. So I'm fucking going for Child's Pose. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm gonna, as someone who has never actually done yoga before, the only one that I know is Child's Pose, and I am very comfortable laying face down, so that's the one for me.
I choose Shavasana.
Yes, I love
Shavasana!
Where you lay on the floor at the end of your workout. I love that. I'm gonna go.
What about you, Jen?
I'm gonna go with Warrior 1. I love to be tall and strong.
That's Girlboss. That's very Girlboss of you, Jen.
Okay, next one. is Christmas trees. Do you want your Christmas trees with white lights or colored lights? I love Christmas trees.
Okay, colored. I mean,
Yeah.
I think either way is fine.
Not anyone listening can see, but all of you on this Zoom can see. I've got colored Christmas lights all around my room, and they make it so fucking cozy. There's just something that feels like a warm hug about like colored Christmas lights. So I'm gonna have to say colored Christmas lights. Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with colored as well, specifically all orange, because I think I'm gonna go for that look this year, like a Halloween themed Christmas tree.
I love
that. My roommate who moved out took her Christmas tree.
So yeah, I love Christmas, and you have to have colored lights. Next one is Real Steel or Iron Giant.
Okay, for any of you who don't know at home, I don't think this movie is like popular outside of my literal immediate family's household, but Real Steel is a movie about like Rock'em Sock'em robots that are controlled by Hugh Jackman specifically. It's just like was this action movie that came out in like 2008 or something that literally nobody but my family saw. So I guess I just have to pick that because like family roots, I guess, but like I completely understand if nobody else has ever seen this fucking movie.
I've never heard of it. I'm gonna go with Iron Giant.
Yeah, I'm also.
Because I have seen
Same
that.
here. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I love Iron Giant, but I'm gonna go with the best futuristic robot boxing movie ever, Real Steel. Okay, next one, the Disney Channel originals, Cheetah Girls or Lemonade Mouth.
Cheetah Girls.
Yep.
Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Girls, Cheetah
That was
Girls.
fast.
Yep, Cheetah Girls.
Because-
Lemonade Mouth could never.
Specifically, Cheetah Girls 2 when they're in Barcelona.
Oh my god.
That song Strut.
I love the first one.
So.
When they lose Toto in a hole and he's just chilling in there and they're just like frantically trying to get him out, but like not really.
Definitely Cheetah Girls for the sweep then. Boy bands or T-Swift?
Taylor Swift could annihilate any boy band who's ever existed. I'm sorry.
Any boy
I just have to
band?
say it.
I love a good boy
Name
band.
One Direction.
I do love a good boy band.
Backstreet Boys.
But what about a girl?
NSYNC.
What about a girl? I don't think it's fair to pair Taylor against a group.
I think it is. I think
Is
she
it?
can hold
Two
her
things-
own. I wasn't like I was born in 1999, so I didn't really get like the 90s like groups like boy bands kind of thing like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or anything like that. But I was here for One Direction and I did not hate it. But also like considering the Beatles were literally a boy band and I'm a little whore for the Beatles. So I'm gonna say boy band.
I'm gonna say boy band too. Think about BTS.
Yes.
Well, they're huge. They're
I don't know any
but they're
songs by
massive.
them. I just like them.
They're like one of the biggest stars like or groups in like the music industry today, if not the biggest boy band that's ever been.
I think that
Yeah,
they vocally would destroy Taylor Swift.
Last one. Going to the movies or seeing a Broadway show?
Okay, that is like literally incomparable
I knew you were gonna
because
say that.
those are literally two things.
No, I can easily
something
answer
that costs something that costs $15 versus something that costs
$150.
$200.
So
I'm just-
isn't it an easy answer then?
I think it's going to the movies. You
No.
can do it anytime you'd like. It's so accessible. I think I regularly have a better time at the movies because I get to do it so frequently. Every time a good movie that I'm excited to see comes out, that I get to see it for I'm not going to say the movies is cheap because it's not, but like the low price of like what $20 for like tickets and snacks or whatever, versus Broadway is like a special thing that I have to segregate my time for. But I love going to the movies. I'm gonna have to say going to the movies for this one, although I love both things.
I've only ever seen one Broadway show, and it was life-changing for me.
What show?
And I was 7 years
Which
old.
one?
It was Hairspray.
Ooh.
And I was 7 years old, and it really changed my life. And
Emily and I just made the same face at the same time, and it was mouth and an O with
aren't you
eyes
so
Yes.
jealous?
gauged.
Did you see?
I am
Was
so
Matthew
jealous.
Morrison still playing Link at that time?
No, but I will tell you that Hilary Duff's sister, Haley Duff,
The underappreciated Duff.
she played Amber,
Oh my god.
the daughter, and also somebody else was in it who's famous, and I don't remember. Harvey Fierstein. He was Edna.
Played the mom?
Yeah. From Mulan,
oh
voice
my
from
God, that's-
Mulan. You know Mulan, right?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
his character's
absolutely.
name in that? He's one of the.
What is it? Ling, Chanpo,
Yao.
and
Yao.
Yao.
The one who sounds
Yao.
like this. This is just my reference, so Jen will know who that is.
Yeah.
I know. I totally know who you mean.
I love that.
Yeah, as much as I love Broadway, and I definitely agree with you there, that Broadway's super special, like, never have I ever gotten sort of, like, choked up, like, don't get me wrong, like, I've gotten choked up at plenty of movies and stuff like that, but Broadway just, like, every once in a while, like, you'll be, like, watching it, and you'll, like, see a show, and, like, someone will be singing a number, and it feels like you got punched in your chest almost. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, because they're just so good.
Yeah, but I, similarly to Dara, as a regular moviegoer, I'm gonna have to say the movies. Like she said, it's just super accessible, and also I can have a snack while I watch my movie. I can't do that while I'm watching a Broadway show.
The reason I picked this one, man, I miss going to the movies. I obviously miss seeing anything live, because I have not done either of these things since COVID. So, I will pick Broadway, because I mean, it's just amazing. I love you guys.
Thank you, Jen.
Oh, we love you.
Thank you
This
so
is a
much.
great round.
We love having you on the pod. Every week, keep your eyes peeled. We'll post these on our Instagram as like a poll, so you can vote for what you liked for Jen's favorite things, which is the theme this week. So yeah, keep an eye out on our Instagram. We'll post them. And as always, Jen, thank you so much for
lovely.
joining
I love you guys. Good night.
I love you.
Good night.
Bye.
Have a good one.
So I think it's about time we get into our regularly scheduled programming. So I think first and foremost, fuck, marry, kill. I hate to write Kid out of the equation, but I simply must. I will name the 3 best characters in this movie as Geena Davis,
Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell, and Madonna.
No.
Does anyone refute me? I will start off by saying that I'm going to... Oh
This
my
is
god,
really
this
tough.
is so hard. I'm going to
Yes,
marry
that's the right thing to
Rosie
do.
O'Donnell. I'm gonna fuck
Yes.
Madonna, and I'm gonna kill Geena Davis. That's
No,
really hard for me to say.
I fully stand in
That's-
solidarity with you there. As much as I like, well, Geena Davis is gorgeous, obviously. She's absolutely gorgeous. But I don't think I could get along with her in any setting, even like a sexual setting. I feel like she would just be like kind of insufferable. She'd tell me that I'm doing it wrong. You know what I mean?
Are we talking the characters?
Yes,
or
the
are we
characters.
talking-
The characters.
Oh.
The character, yeah,
I
the
thought
character,
we were-
yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
Because
yeah, we're
obviously I'd be fucking
Yeah,
Geena
no.
Davis if it was just Geena Davis.
I would be marrying her.
But like
yeah, no, sorry, I meant I don't know their characters.
Doris,
names 'cause I'm not
May,
smart
and Dottie.
from
It's
the,
Doris,
from the
May, and
movie.
Dottie.
Yeah, specifically
no,
in the
I would-
context.
For
Oh,
sure,
so
for sure
yeah.
you have to fuck Madonna. And then I just feel like me and Rosie would really get along well in a relationship. Like, yeah, right? Like, right? I would just have an absolute blast with her. So obviously I want to marry her. Also, we can dance the night away. She can flip me over her head. It'll be great.
This is really hard. I think I would have to marry Geena Davis, even though I know she's perfect, and I will never be able to live up to that. But that just takes the pressure off of me in a way.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I would marry Rosie. No, I wouldn't. I would marry Madonna. Fuck, I don't know.
It's really hard.
I think I would have to marry Madonna
I think that would really work for you too.
and fuck Rosie.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like she would really give it her all. And I guess I would also have to kill Dot, because she... Yeah.
She's so high maintenance.
And so, I guess from here, we go to, you have the full range of the entire movie, who you'd fuck, marry, and kill. And I will say, I'm going to start mine off with a notable mention, although I don't think he makes it to my final 3. that Marla's dad really left an impression on me. Because Marla
I fucking hated Marla's dad.
kills the fuck.
We can have this discussion if you want.
Marla killed the fuck out of her baseball tryout, and he was like, "Don't worry, sweetie, like, you still did a good job." Whereas, like, I don't know, I feel like it's the 1940s, and in this movie, they really easily could have gone the route of, like, him being like, "Darn, she's not pretty enough." Like, you know what I mean?
To me, he was like, "I know she's not pretty like these other girls, but won't you? I know she's ugly, but won't you take her?" If I was her dad, I'd be like, "Fuck you."
But I still felt like he was supportive.
I would be like, "Fuck you. My daughter doesn't need the looks of these other girls to be a great baseball player. She's obviously fucking great." I hated her dad. He should die.
Oh, okay. I guess we're killing Marla's dad. I just felt like it was more support that we.
I'm sorry.
I guess it's just like more. We typically don't see like fatherly support on screen.
And you see that as fatherly support? I'm sorry. I just do not.
I'm gonna say, out of the whole movie, I'm gonna kill Tom Hanks because honestly, so many times throughout, like, I get that he's like okay in the end, but so many times throughout this film, I was like, these women should straight up bludgeon him to death with their bats. Like, he's being such a fucking asshole. I was like, I would straight up, if I was Geena Davis, I would have just roundhouse kicked him in the head. So I'm gonna kill Tom Hanks' character because I just like couldn't. He's just so insufferable. Obviously, I think I'm still gonna fuck Madonna because goddamn, and then I maintain I will marry Rosie O'Donnell. I just want Turk from Tarzan in my house at all times. That's a good lineup. So
I like that for you.
That's it for me.
I have thought about this quite a bit. I'm gonna marry Helen. I've talked about her already on this podcast. She is not even close to a main character. But from what she brings to the movie, I love her. She seems very mellow, very down to earth, and I fuck with that. I think we could get along great. I'm also gonna stick with Madonna to fuck because that's just the right answer, in my opinion. And then I'm gonna kill Stillwell because if I was on that team and that kid was running around pulling the shit that he was, I would have honestly killed him already. If not Stillwell, then I would kill his mom for not, like, taking, like, responsibility and, like, keeping her kid under control. So, it's one of the two, but probably Stillwell.
So, I would have to marry Mr. Harvey of Harvey Bars because that dough.
Of course.
And I would have to kill. Who would I kill? I'm gonna come back to the killing. I would still fuck Rosie, I guess. I would kill old Geena Davis at the end. I just fucking hate her. And I would fuck Rosie's dad.
Rosie's dad was. I liked Rosie's dad better tthan Marla's dad.
I feel like Rosie's dad.
So you brought up. Hold on, you just brought up like the old people version, like, because we haven't really talked about it.
The old people version is the weirdest thing ever.
It is, but I think they cast the old people, like, we talk about young to old casting a lot, or child casting to, like, I don't know, like, middle-aged casting. The middle-aged casting of these women to, like, their old versions was outstanding. Absolutely spot on. And my favorite thing about that, like, that sort of scene, too, was that they used a lot of, like, the actual women from the league were some of the ones that they put in in the movie.
I didn't know that. That's
I don't know. I don't know that any of the, like, main actors, like the ones that, like, came in and played Doris or May or anything like that. I don't know that any of them were the ones that were actually in the league, but I know they used some of the women that were actually in the league in the movie. So I thought that was always great. But the casting was outstanding.
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about...
I love that. Oh
Sorry,
my God.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I fucking hated the flashback part of this movie. Was so unnecessary, and if I could cut it entirely, I would. And despite the fact that I cried, despite the fact that I shed a premenstrual syndrome tear during the moment where they, like, as old people, like, hug and unite, I still fucking despised it. And I just was like, get this out of here. I don't care. It's, like, just, like, wasting my time and my energy. It's just, like, using this, like, cheesy gimmick of a film.
Ending.
So, okay. So we've done Fuck, Marry, Kill. So now, does anyone have any notable suggestions on what to eat and drink? Because I think we definitely agreed here, like, ballpark food, right?
Yeah, yes, 100%. You get your favorite cheap beer, and you eat a hot dog. Though, I will tell you...
I want a hot dog real bad.
I will say, and one of my roommates told me this recently, a hot dog, every hot dog that you eat, there's been a study, I think it was like a Harvard study or something like that, or some fucking prestigious school study, that was like, yeah, for every hot dog that you eat, it takes like 30 minutes off of your life.
30 minutes? I thought you were going to say a full 6
start
years.
eating hot
I was going to say...
No.
I thought you were going to say a full 6 years.
That's a significant amount of time, though, for one hot dog. I'm a little slut for a hot dog.
But I would say any sort of, like...
I don't know. If someone offered me a hot dog right now, I might eat it.
Yeah.
Any, like, ballparky food.
Now that I know.
I would say, like, pretzels, even. Just, like, get a good old bag of pretzels. Or, like...
Oh, you know what would be good? Would be so good is if you get, like, okay, because I'm not going to tell you to make your own pretzels. That's a lot of work. Go buy, like, some oven pretzels or something like that, some soft pretzels, and then you make your own beer cheese, because that's really easy, honestly. So I say if you want to do a little bit more work than just a hot dog, get some pretzels and make some beer cheese, because I think that is a solid option.
What would you recommend to follow this movie up with?
Okay. I've got a recommendation for this. And I was thinking long and hard about what to follow this up with. Because this is I think this is a pretty fun movie. I think it's pretty heartfelt as well. A bit of a feel-good movie, if you ask me. But I remember during COVID, like during like lockdown COVID kind of thing, I watched this. It was a newer documentary. It was called A Secret Love, and it's about these two lesbians who they've been together for like 60 years or something like that, and it was one of those things because back then you couldn't be like openly out and all that stuff. But I remember that one of these women in this great relationship was actually in the All-American Girls Baseball League. So I think that you followed up with that because I don't think this movie's gay enough. So I think you followed up with something gay and something that is historically true. And I just think it's a good documentary. It's a little sad, but it is also heartfelt, and I think it's one to watch.
So, I love that. So I was not prepared to answer this question, but I mentioned Rat Race earlier in this episode, and I think that it would be a good dynamic shift. Actually, Rat Race has just been my favorite movie for 20 years, and that's why I would watch it after. I watch it, like, monthly. I fall asleep to it a lot. I just think that it's a good dynamic change, and it will make you laugh your ass.
And so, to end things off, 1 through 10, what is this movie? To me, it's a solid 6.
I just really love this movie. I don't know. It tugs on my heartstrings a little bit. I'm gonna give it like an 8.5, maybe a 9 on a good day. It's just something about this movie. I really love it. I could talk about it for longer than we have, but yeah, no. It's just one that makes me feel really good. There's nothing else I can say about it. It's a feel-good movie for me, and that outranks anything else. Like, if it's, like, cinematic or whatnot, if the shots are great, like, I don't care. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy, so I'm gonna give it, like, an 8.5, 9.
I feel like the cinematography in this movie is good.
It is!
And I like, although it is boring, I like the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring at times. I've shit on this movie a lot, but I do really like it. I would give it an 8 as well. There's a lot of room for improvement. I wish that they had touched on the black women baseball players more than they did. Mm-hmm. They barely touched that.
Which I think hopefully they will in the TV series. I think they were like trying to like kind of backtrack and make up for some of that like ground that perhaps was lost. And I'm very hopeful.
And it's a comedy, right? It's a sitcom.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful that this TV series will be like absolutely stellar, because Abby Jacobson, I have all the faith in the world that she will do a stellar job.
I will absolutely be watching that. I can't wait.
So, to wrap things up, thank you so much, Nikola Dion, for being our guest this week. I absolutely love you, and I'm so happy that we did this movie this week, because you immediately came to mind for me.
Aw, I love you too. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, you are a pleasure to have.
Part of wrapping up this episode, last week we failed to mention the winner of our drawing. So on our High School Musical episode, we did mention that there's a giveaway. We try to do a giveaway every month. And our question was, what's your favorite Disney Channel original movie? And we got so many great responses, but we randomly drawed a number, and the winner was Sam_does_things04 on Instagram, and they said that their favorite movie was Go Figure, which I think is an amazing answer. Honestly, I'm so sad that nobody said Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior. Like, I know there's so many Disney Channel original movies to choose from, but like, are you kidding me? But Go Figure is such an amazing choice as well. I know you said Ice Princess rivals it, right? Yeah, right. So many.
I said that.
So many good ones. But so we'll be shouting you out. Sam Does Things 04 on Instagram, and we'll be sending you a message. We'll be sending you some free merch if you so please. So we love to give away free things. Make sure you keep your ears and eyes peeled later this month. We'll be doing another giveaway. We love to give you guys free shit because we really appreciate our listeners, and you guys are so nice. And every time you comment things and you message us, it's really so nice, and it makes my day. So like I said earlier, keep your ears and eyes peeled for Chocolate or Vanilla on our Instagram, upcoming probably sometime this weekend. Anything you ever want us to cover, just like feel free to DM us. We absolutely love getting DMs, even if it's not like super relevant, like we're doing Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss month. But if it's like not within that theme, like don't worry, we love all of your recommendations. Any movies you think we should watch or cover, please DM us. And make sure to follow us. All of our links are in the description below. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, website, email, all of that good shit. And thank you so much. And thank you so much to our guest. It was a joy having you this week. Go drink a lot of liquids and then don't pee for 48 hours, and then see how long you can time your own piss for to rival Tom Hanks's minute and a half long piss in this movie. Stay hydrated, pee often, take care of your body. Your body is a temple, and we love you all. Thank you and good night. And stay tuned for the rest of Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girlboss month.